Jai Gurudev, everybody, welcome back. So, today, like I said, it's a blessed day for all the mothers, and gratitude and love to every aspect of mothers in our life. It is through them that we take the first understanding of life itself. So in the Hindu tradition, for us, is the first guru is the mother, the father. The mother, the father. And very often, you see, very often people don't understand that, that the guru is more than an earthly mother and earthly father. Because Guru and God is the parents of the soul itself. So it is an eternal relationship. You see, mothers and fathers, throughout lives, you have had many mothers and many fathers, which you have called mother and father. But Guru is such a rare opportunity that only when the descent of, that is, Sadguru happen, then the disciples also come. So that a reminder of who is the real mother and who is the real father. That's why we say, Tvam cha me mata, tvam cha me pita, tvam cha me bandhu, tvam cha me devata. So you are mother, you are father, you are the dearest friend, you are the Lord Himself. So this is a mystery when one adventure into that relationship with the divine, that one can really understand that. So today I was looking, today's Sunday, I was just earlier thinking when we were small, what we were doing. So it went back to Sunday. Normally, when I was young, I didn't like Sunday afternoon because it's a bit boring. But when you live in an island where it's surrounded by the sea, so Sunday afternoon we will always go to the beach. And I was just thinking about that. I said, wow, what a change. But now even I don't even know when is Monday, which day it is really. So forget about Sunday itself. So I will ask Jacob ask your question.
Beloved Guruji, since all we should see is God's perfection and nothing happens without His will, we should not judge anything. Yet we categorize eating meat as wrong. So are we saying something is now imperfect in God's creation?
Well, you see, when we look at the scriptures according to that, you see very well that the precept of God is not to eat meat. I say, if you know the scripture, you will know that God has set a certain rules, and that among the rules that God have set upon, He said, I have given you seeds, I have given you trees who bear fruits. It is not meant to eat meat. I don't remember really directly the it shall be for meat, that's what it is said. So that is from the Bible itself, where God is reminded that I have given you seeds and plants and fruits and everything else. So why should it be for meat? And also in all other scriptures, you see, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna Himself said, so those which is driven by tamasic or demonic qualities, they eat meat, So, but those devotee which is elevated, they are not driven to eat. They are reminded that life is not about eating meat. Being a human being, when we look at the nature itself of a human being, our mind itself, our teeth, how it's arranged, our intestine, So it is not meant for human to eat meat when we compare it to an animal, like a lion, all this, but you have to fight for the prey. So it's not that God have, where we are judging these things, but this is a precept that when we say, yes, God have created everything perfect, but are human beings listening to what He's saying? No, they are not. Yeah. So you see, asking this question, first you have to know that what does it mean really? God never said to people that you have to eat meat, and have not designed human body to be a meat eater or cadaver eater. Let's put it like that. So human body was created in a way when to eat only fruits actually. So now, but due to the desire of so many people, of course that have changed. So in this context, God is perfect when He said, yes, you should not, everything is perfect in His creation, and you should not eat meat. But you see, in the scriptures, you have some scriptures from which they give you a certain, what animal can you eat and what you can't eat, for example in the Torah itself. But this you have to see, this have been driven or written by people who like to eat these things. So of course they made it a rule that this kind of meat you can eat and that's the kind you can't eat. So in that context, that have become like a rules for them, that meat eating is a must, according to their religion. And also one thing you have to see, most of the time, people who are eating meat, why? Because at that place where they come from, there were nothing to eat. But nowadays you get vegetable everywhere. It's not a must to eat these things. So in that context, yes, it's not that God is wrong. It is the human mind what it is wrong. So
in the Mahabharata, even Yudhishthira and Arjuna were called arrogant, despite being righteous and not bragging.
Sorry, Yudhishthira and
Arjuna were called arrogant. What is the best way to avoid being arrogant if one is in fact skilled, knowledgeable and righteous?
Skilled, knowledgeable and righteous. In Bhagavad, you see, in Canto 5, chapter 11, verse 17, where Jarabharata is saying clearly, he said the mind, the mind is formidable enemy, and that grows when one escape one duty, one escape one spiritual duty, and it is very, very powerful. But for those which is free from that illusion, they wield the weapon of service to the feet of Guru and God. So they are free from the delusion and the pride which cover the soul. So you see, when we see what your question is saying about Yudhishthira and Arjuna, are full with pride for their success, especially also Arjuna after the war itself. He was so proud that he had fought so well, and he was, glamorously claiming his glory. But who is doing that? You see, it is that mindset itself. That mind which is forgetting what is the true aspect of who you are. The moment you forget who you are, then you place everything else upon, So here in the Bhagavad it said that the moment the mind run after delusional things, not doing one duty. So not doing one duty, which means, why have you come here in this world? You have a certain dharma, and that dharma is to attain the lotus feet of the Lord. So if your path have bring you unto where you have to be, but yet you don't engage into that, you don't embrace it, yet you do other things which will divert you from that path, so you can't claim that you will attain the blissful state or the true happiness. So being in that delusion state, you will keep entertaining the delusion of the mind itself. So like, for example, I will tell you, there is one devotee here, that devotee, well, he's here living in the ashram, but constantly, you see, it have to be reminded to him about his duty. And of course, laziness kick in, excuses kick in, and of course, doing the same things kick in. Do you think that this person, even in spite of living here in the ashram itself, will attain to anything else? No, it will not. Because such person is entertaining only the delusion of the mind. And I said, more that delusion of the mind is entertained, more strong it becomes. But the same thing, you see, that mind, when it's turned towards the Lord with sincerity, and when we say sincerity, you let go of the past, When you stepped into a spiritual life, that life you should step away from. The moment you stepped away from that, there is a certain realization that take over you. But remove that delusion. That's what allowed one to worship. Here it said the weapon is the worship. So the worship become a weapon which shield one from that delusion. Because that delusion have covered that mirror inside of you. That yesterday the verse was saying the smoke is covered, the fire is covered by the smoke, the mirror is covered by dust, So like that itself, the Atma is also covered by delusion and by pride, ego, and so on. But one can't be free from that, because it's very, very difficult, because you have entertained the mind in spite of the Guru telling you constantly that you have to change. But yet, entertaining that mind, entertaining the pride, that change doesn't happen. First you have to let go of that. Same thing with Yudhishthira and Arjuna. You see, due to the samskaras, being prince, being into a certain lifestyle before, in a moment you forget about it. This is what Krishna have constantly remind Arjuna. But you are not this body, you are the Atma. How many times people forget about that? It is very easy to forget, because the identification what the mind hold upon is upon the body itself. So when the mind hold upon that physical body, and of course when you say this who I am, then the reality disappeared, because this is not who you are. You are the witness which is inside that physical frame itself, realizing that you are the Atma. It is not you which is doing everything. There's the divine force which is doing everything. Once you forget about that, then you fall into delusion. Even if the Guru will continuously remind you of that, like Krishna have continuously remind Arjuna and Yudhishthira, being near to the Supreme Lord itself, even Krishna, Arjuna have seen the cosmic form of Lord Krishna, But yet, at the end of the battlefield, his pride was so much, yes, we have won, because you have accomplished something. We have I, and my, mind. As long as you hold upon this I, and my, mind, you will never be free. Whether you are Yudhishthira, whether you are Arjuna, whether you are whoever you are. You see, you have not yet attained to letting go of that pride itself. Once you have attained to that letting go of that pride, then, of course, a certain realization stayed inside of you. This is where Krishna reminds Arjuna. You see, Arjuna, you are so proud, saying that, okay, he didn't say it to him, but okay, you are so proud of that. Okay, please come with me. So then he brought him near a pillar, and on that pillar there was a head. And what was the name? Barbaric, yes. So on that pillar there was a head, and that saint is called Barbaric. So Barbaric was a great devotee of Krishna, actually. So just to cut the story short, he heard story of Krishna from his grandmother always since small, and he had a great desire to see Krishna. And because of his love for Krishna and his dedication to Krishna, he was so absorbed into this bhakti, that he developed such a longing for Krishna. And Krishna, of course, knew about him. So he wanted so much to see Krishna, so he went on the battlefield. He said, the only way to see Krishna is not to be in the side of Krishna, it's to be opposite of Krishna. So as he was going, because he's such a great devotee of Krishna, who have surrender and have only one desire, to see Krishna, nothing else. They don't have any desire. So having such desire inside of him, he was approaching the Kurukshetra. At that moment, Krishna said, okay, if he goes to the Kauravas, then for sure, because of his devotion to him, he have to protect him. So he will have to protect the Kauravas. No? So to stop him of doing that, Krishna disguised himself and other Brahmanan came there and to test him. So then he tested him. So in one moment he lost the test. He failed the test, and then Krishna said, okay, fine, now you can't go to the Kurukshetra. He said, no, I want to see Krishna, and I want Krishna, I want to kill me. This was his, I want to see the glory of the Lord, but I died in his hand, that was his wish. And he wanted to see the glory of Krishna, and he wanted to die in his hand, by the Lord's hand. So then he said, I know who you are. You are not a Brahmin. You are Krishna himself who have come to stop me. Because you know very well that if you go into the other camp, then you will not be able to win the war. So that's why. So then he said, yes. And he said, no, but you can't stop me. So Krishna said, no, I will stop you. And Krishna called the Sudarshan Chakra, and he saved his head. And as he was dying, he was looking at Krishna. I said, this is my only wish, was to die by your hand. And looking at Krishna, I said, I would like to see the war. And Krishna blessed him and put the head on the pillar. So when Arjuna was so much pride, praising himself, approaching this pillar was Barbaric up there. And Barbaric was laughing, looking at the pride of Arjuna now, and he was wondering, why is he laughing? And he said, well, you see, I see that that pride inside of your mind, you are praising yourself. But I tell you something, what I'm laughing is that in spite of seeing the cosmic form of the Lord, in spite of being with the Supreme Lord himself, how the delusion mind, you have not let go of that. So that's why I'm laughing at. And he said, well, I did fight. I said, yes. But do you think that your weapon is sufficient to annihilate such great warriors? And it is not. You see, what I saw is that in front of each time you send an arrow, the Sudarshan Chakra of the Lord was there. before. So like that, you have not done anything. It is him who do everything. Just how you step down from the chariot. The moment you step down from the chariot, the moment Krishna asks you if you step down, then you say no, you step down first. Then Krishna forced you to step down. The moment the Lord himself stepped down from the chariot exploded completely. So just to remind you that everything was safeguarded by Lord Krishna himself. You didn't do anything. And this is a delusion that not only Arjuna or Yudhishthira entertain, the whole world is entertaining it, because everybody hold upon their own strength and power, thinking that, yes, I am doing that, or I am doing this. How long would you think that you are in control of things? How long would your richness really make you happy? Death will come and take everything. The moment death comes, where is your pride? Now, in front of death, everybody is rendered humble. So, don't wait for that time to come then to make yourself humble. So that's why, here you see that Arjuna and Yudhishthira have also this pride, because they have not fully let go of it. And as you see very well, that in spite of being with the Lord, their mind was not focused upon him. That's why they took upon themselves karmic things upon. That's why Lord Krishna told them, go in the Himalayas, worship Lord Shiva, be free from these karma. Because in spite of reminding them that their mind should be upon him, their mind was wandering around, So due to their mind wandering and focus upon what they were doing only, they can't be free. That's why the purpose of service is not that you should drop everything that you do and just say, okay, I will sit in meditation and think only of God. This is not the time. So whatever you do, wherever you are, just pause for a few seconds, close your eyes, connect with him. Like that, he will be part, you will keep reminding that he's part of what you are doing. The moment you forget about that, then the mind will kick in, and then that pride will take over, and then the moment of pride take over, then delusion start. Once delusion started, then you will completely lose yourself into that. So,
dear Guruji, in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 7, Krishna says that whenever dharma declines, he takes form to correct it. So it seems that adharma needs to take place for a change to happen. How can we help the world if we try to do good, but that delays adharma's appearance and delays the appearance of the Lord?
in a way you are saying, let's become adharmic, then the Lord can come. Well, Lucy, there is a time for everything. You can become adharmic, you can become the worst evil, but doesn't mean that Bhagwan will come and manifest to sort you out right now. There's a time for it, because whenever his incarnation manifests himself on earth, then he come for a purpose. It's a specific purpose. So I don't think you will become a Hitler or a Mussolini or whatever. Even if you become that, I don't think Bhagwan will come to redeem you from that. So for adharma, for humanity, when it comes, first he come in the form of Guru. He sent saints, sages to remind humanity of themselves, who they are truly. So first he sent that throughout ages. You see, he don't just manifest like that. First he sent reminders that he give you time to transform yourself and change. Then after that he enact his Leela, when he see that even in spite of sending all the sages, you are still deluded into adharmic ways, then he himself will come. But that come only when he come in his full force, when it's needed. But there is partial incarnation that awake as a reminder itself of transformation of human being. You see that in the life of saints, for example, because the saints are also partial incarnation of him, So when they come as a reminder of that truth itself, it tries to bring humanity to the right path, So in that context, one don't need to fully manifest himself, and he come partially as a reminder in the form of guru and saints and sages. So it is them that hold that dharma, it is them that hold that light, and it is through them, when we serve them, they put that upon the humanity itself. A few days ago I was telling the story of when Ganga wanted to come, there was a discussion from Bhagavad itself. Lord Brahma said, you have to come down. Bhagirath actually said, please come, mother. And said, well, okay, I will take all the sins from everybody. Who will purify me? Then Bhagirath assured Ganga Devi and said, whenever you take upon these sins, upon you, the saints will free you from that. This reminded me of a story, of actually in the life of Telanga Swami from Varanasi. Telanga Swami, he was an avadut. He was free. And he was just wearing a langot, that's it, nothing else. And he was huge in structure. So one day, he took a huge shivaling and he carried like nothing, walking up like 100 steps to bring it to his ashram. So Telanga Swami, when he was about to pass on to the other realm, before leaving this plane, he entered a small room down in a cave under the shivling which he put up. And there, every day, the people will see that there will be 3 ladies coming from the Ganga. There was a door, and 3 ladies, dirty, with they look very dirty, come inside, and then while leaving, they look splendid, very clean clothes and all this. So one of the servants asked him, who is these ladies? Because they are not human. You can see, because in spite they dress in their clothes were dirty and so on, but you can see that they are not normal human being. So then Telanga Swami said, but this is Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. So when they come, they bring all the sins, what they have when people take bath into the Ganges, what accumulate there. They come, and in association with the saints, that transformation itself happen. So the saints, they hold that energy in transforming that sense itself. So then they go back. So coming to your question itself, sorry, repeat the question.
How can we help the world if we try to do good?
Okay, yeah. So you see, Bhagavan, throughout throughout all the ages, you see that there is so many saints who come. And as a reminder of that, he also manifests himself, When you look at the life of Namdev Maharaj, Tukaram, all this, Bhagavan was not just the deity in the temple. No, he was the one that everywhere where they were, he was there. So in that way, they have this deep relationship with God. It's not being in adharma. If you become adharma, you will kill yourself. Nowadays being adharmic, meaning heart attack, stress. So it's not about being adharmic from like in ancient time. These demons, when they were incarnating, they were adharma. Yes, they were adharma, but their adharma was linked in constant remembering of the Supreme Lord Himself. So their adharma was not, it is a Leela of Bhagwan Himself, but He manifests Himself to relieve mankind, utilizing these adharmic soul itself. Like Jaya Vijaya was cursed to be born, as in different ages. So this Leela bring also the Lord Himself down. So then you say, okay, somebody is adharma right now, it would not make the same sense as it was before, because it is not the time yet for the Lord to the descent of the Lord. So extreme, which means there must be a magnitude of adharma. Then He manifests Himself, and that is His promise. And you can see that throughout ages it is like that. And throughout ages you see that out of His mercy and grace He always sent great souls in this world to remind humanity of the love of God. That means that He will never let go of humanity. He will send always partial manifestation of Himself down to remind mankind of who they are. That's why He said, yes, I will incarnate time to time, yada yada hi dharmasya, I will, to protect dharma, I will be there. So I will be there at the essence of the divine, which is present everywhere. I will be there in the essence of, in the Guru itself. That's why that verse of Bhagavatam earlier said, only those who is free from the mind, those devotees which have sincere longing for God consciousness, they are the only one which can wield the weapon of worship. They are the only one who can really understand what is happening when worshipping the lotus feet of Guru and God. So that is in Bhagavad itself, where Bhagwan is saying worshipping of Guru and God, because from the essence of Lord Krishna Himself is fully present inside the Guru itself. So having that realization, you will know that it's not being in adharmic time. We can say even now it is fully adharmic what is happening, because the greed of the world have grown so much into the mind of people, that it is completely adharma. People are running so much into the material reality, but they forget about their true self completely. So that is also adharma. So that's why saints and sages come, Guru come as a reminder to the people. And blessed is those who truly take it and grow from it. Because Guru don't live their life for themselves. It is living for the people, to uplift the people, to push the people, to transcend their mind itself. Because you see, what is the cause of your misery into this world? What is the cause of adharma? It is your own mind. They say, you are the cause of this misery. There's nobody else. So to transform that, Guru come and bring the divine knowledge, the knowledge of the Veda, the knowledge of the Bhagavad, and the knowledge of the Gita. It's a reminder. It's just nothing new about it. It is just a reminder of where your mind has to be, and the effort that you take by yourself to show the appreciation. Yes, I appreciate that you have given me this opportunity to transform myself, and I give my best effort into that, and that brings the change itself. So then Bhagwan becomes clear that He is here also. So,
Dear Guruji, I heard that you once said that the Guru does not remove doubt, but creates more doubt, and that the more one burns in the fire of doubt, the stronger one becomes. Is that true?
Look, if you have a certain delusion into your mind which you're entertaining, the Guru must challenge that, because that has become your reality. You have adopt these reality, you have made that something deep. When you look at your mind itself, your mind is full of doubt, your mind is full of judgment, your mind is full of pride and ego, that we have become your reality. So when that have become your reality, I can't come and say, okay, here, take this, take God realization is the most important thing. You can talk about God realization, you can talk about love, you can talk about joy and happiness of being on the spiritual path. Does these people which their mind is full of doubt listen to you? No, they will not listen to you. So firstly, that challenge of that doubt, you have to adventure into the doubt itself. This is, of course, I'm telling you a secret of gurus right now, but this is how it is done. First, to be able to destroy the doubt, you have to adventure into that doubt. That once that doubt is destroyed, then realize you can give what you want to give to that person. Otherwise, nobody will be able to listen to you. Do you think people will have time to sit and listen to what you want to tell them about God realization or joy and happiness? No, they will not. If they have a doubt, they would like to entertain that doubt. If they have something to be miserable, they would like to entertain that things which is miserable. That's why Bhagavan Krishna said, you see, the way you think, the way you become. That in chapter 8 verse 6 of Bhagavad Gita, those when departing from this life, whatever it is in your mind, that you shall be. In Bhagavatam, Canto 5 itself, chapter 8, you see clearly of how Jalabharata, Bharat Maharaj itself, who was a great king, who had believed everything, how he changed by attaching himself to a phone. I have told the story many times, you see. So the moment you forget who you are, doubt will take place. The moment you forget who is helping you, you will start doubting that person which is helping you. The moment you forget that your life, it is not permanent here, then you will be in delusion. But you think that yes, you will be here forever. You will amass a quantity of gold, you will amass so much knowledge, about things. But then at the end, what will that be? You will leave everything and goes. So it's not about entertaining the doubt, it's not about becoming the doubt, but it's about go there and put a bomb and explode it. So even if it is appeared like the doubt is being entertained, no, it's actually you went there and put a dynamite and wait for it to explode. That's what it is. Then that's what Guru does really. It's not about me doing it, and many gurus do that, because to break that mindset which you have attached yourself so much, that become your reality. And how do I change that reality? Do you think tomorrow, you said, but God, when you think of God, you will attain God, Jalabharata, when he was dying, he was thinking of his little deer, fawn, who will look after, and he died. But at the same time, when he was born next life, he born as a deer itself, but he could remember everything through the grace of God. He could remember, and he didn't do the same mistake. You see, so like that, how long would you entertain the doubt inside of your mind? There should be a time when you say, enough is enough. Then you start to view in a different angle, certain things, So by entertaining the doubt and being into the doubt, you will doom yourself completely. And that is, the Guru is so merciful. He don't want to see you dooming yourself, He wants you to be free. He wants you to rise. So in that context, yes, the doubt, you entertain it until you are ready to listen to the Guru. Once you are ready to listen to the Guru, then that will be dissipate. But if still, by revolving against, I said, okay, yes, but I still like my doubt, I like to think like this. You see that often, you see that in many people, they tell you, who are you to tell me how I should think? No, I'm nobody to tell you how you should think, but I'm just telling you that this thinking, how you are thinking, will not be a constructive thought, for yourself and for others. So if you take what the Guru is telling you and really change, the doubt will disappear. But if you keep entertaining your doubt and build it and make it a magnitude castle, then you will never be free. Even in 100 lives, you will never be free from that. Because you're entertaining it, you like it, you make it yours. So then it becomes very difficult to transform. So that's why, I said, but Guru, to destroy that, the Guru have to sometimes adventure into many different aspects. Aspect which the devotee will not understand with their mind. But the Guru knows what he's doing. At every moment the Guru knows what he's doing. So, Jai Gurudev.